Hey everyone, it's been a while, hasn't it? Apologies for not uploading sooner, but I've been really busy and I also had surgery last week and I'm still kind of recovering, but yeah. Now that I've broken up from college, I should be able to upload more, but no promises. Anyways, before the video starts, I'd like to thank you all for 5,000 subscribers. I was not expecting that when I was gone, but we're here now. So yeah, think of this as a 5k special. So yeah, let's get started then, shall we? Here are my custom Edward and Toby models, which I totally made myself. I mean, what? I totally didn't make these at all. Jokes aside though, these models weren't made by me. They were made by the amazing Noctiputus 812, which I commissioned because, yeah, I don't have the best track record when it comes to making customs, do I? Look, I never said Splendid showcases have to be models made by me, alright? There's a reason why I haven't been doing these custom showcases, and that's because I think my customs suck. So I commission people instead, because they have a way better talent than I do. Anyways, I really need to start this damn video. I've just been waffling, I haven't even showed the models yet. So let's just start off with Toby, as he's the simpler one apparently. So to make Toby, I had to buy myself a D'Agostini Toby model, and then I sent it to Ryan along with some transfers for Edward, so then Ryan could modify Toby. Fortunately, Ryan was generous enough to send some behind the scenes photos on how he made Edward and Toby. I'm no expert, but I believe what he did was, he got the D'Agostini Toby model, he cut the model down so it could fit the 040 chassis, he glued some couplers on the front, he chopped down the old buffers and put some new ones on, and he gave the model a matte coat. If you want to see how Ryan made this Toby, he made a separate video on how he makes them, so I'll link that video in the description if you want to give it a watch. So yeah, that's Toby. He's simpler than I thought actually, but fun fact, Edward was actually meant to be the only model that got made. Toby was a last minute thought, as I didn't really like the Batman model or the Hornby model, as the Hornby model is way too tall and doesn't really fit in with my Hornby range. And the Batman Toby, well, I don't really like the look of him. He looks too glossy, his face looks off, and I think my custom Toby looks like the Hornby Toby if it was done right. Maybe a little bit short, but oh well, not everything's perfect, is it? Right. I think I've said everything that needs to be said. If not, oh well. But this is a lovely Toby model in my opinion. I think it's a great little addition to my collection and I'll have great use out of it. So this will probably be the Toby you see in my videos. So yeah, you won't see him until then. So bye bye Toby. Now, I know why most of you click this video. It's because you all want to see Timothy. Nah, just kidding mate, it's Edward. Edward was definitely the harder one to make out of the bunch, as he required repainting, repairing, and fixing. A while ago I bought a Hornby LMS 2P to make Edward, but I probably should have checked the listing or the photos better because the model arrived in pieces. I knew I couldn't make this model myself, so I sent it to Ryan's way and he was happy to help. But you're all probably wondering to yourself, is this really worth it? Because Hornby already made an Edward model. And yes, that is correct, Hornby did make an Edward model, but it looks like shit. First off, why does the model have the wrong basis? Secondly, it has steam pipes on the side, the running board's curved, and there's a big gap for where a cylinder should be, but because Edward's model used to have a cylinder, but for some reason it got removed. And yes, I know the 2P isn't a much better basis for Edward, but you're very limited when it comes to model railways. I don't believe they made a furnished railway K2, and I believe the 2P looks a lot more like Edward than whatever the this is. Right, enough with the Edward rant. This is what happens when you don't write a script. Once Edward arrived to Ryan's house, he sat for a while, but last month or so, Ryan got to work on Edward. So first of all, Ryan had to fix Edward's broken step using some plastic card and popsicle sticks, because otherwise the model will just be lopsided and it'll have a big chunk taken out on the side. Once that was all sorted, Ryan primed his body in grey so he could paint it blue later on. The tender also got the same treatment. Once the body and tender were primed, Ryan put a nice shade of blue on the tender and the body. The red on the running board was also painted red at this time. I like this shade of blue because it reminds you of the 2016 Hornby Thomas range, and I think that's what he was going for. Once the body and tender were painted, he then painted the chassis blue and serviced the chassis. Once that was all done, he lined the model with transfers, which is why it looks so good. There was one problem though. The Model Master doesn't produce LMS transfers anymore, but thankfully I had a pair from a few years ago from my old custom models, which we don't talk about. So I sent them to Ryan's way and he applied them to Edward. After that, Ryan applied the final details to Edward, and now
it's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
Edward was finally finished. I am so glad I commissioned Ryan to make Edward instead of me making it myself, because it looks like he's professionally done and it looks like he's an official model by Hornby. The face was taken from my old Edward model, which I sold to Laserjet. It is a little big, but it's not noticeable. Thankfully, I commissioned Ryan while I could because his commissions are now closed. So please don't go attacking him or asking him saying,
Please make me a model, please, I need it really bad.
So yeah, that's pretty much my Edward and Toby models made by Ryan. I totally recommend you check out his stuff because he made a video how to make an Edward like mine, although I'm pretty sure they're different models, but still. Now, this video is shorter than I would have liked it to be, but I did actually sell my Hornby Edward to Brian, and he is going to modify it and add it to rolling stock somehow. So, if you ever make Spirits Customs on that, keep an eye out for that one. Or not, if he decides not to make it, I don't know. But before Ryan gave me my Edward model back, he compared it next to his model. And as you can see, they're both very different, yet being the same bases. His Edward has a lot more detail, because that's just what he likes. Meanwhile, my Edward is kind of simple. I like that, because it's meant to replicate how Hornby would have made him. So I can imagine Edward being quite simplistic like this. Meanwhile, Ryan's Edward is all detailed. Sorry if that ending bit felt really random or really boring. I just wanted to get this video past the 6-minute mark. And another big shout out to NumptyPoo812 for yet making me these models, and also including me some extra stuff as well. I don't really know how to end off this video, so I'm just going to say go subscribe to us both. I need views because my channel's falling off, and he hasn't uploaded in a while, so I'm sure he'll appreciate some new commenters. So yeah, go subscribe to us both, and I'll see you next time. Bye!